Right, my mother smokes 70 cigarettes a day. There's a photograph of me and her. She's breastfeeding me. I'm about 6 months old. She's smoking and resting the ashtray on my stomach. And when I showed her this photo, I thought she'd feel guilty. She said, "You were a fucking difficult baby. I needed that cigarette." In Scotland, that was normal when I was a kid, right? When I was 7 years old, more than half of the population of Britain smoked. And people smoked everywhere. People smoked on the tube. People smoked on planes. The doctor would smoke while he was examining you. I'm not joking. I remember that happening, right? So if I could take you back to the
smoking was prevalent. I started smoking at 12, and I did it by going down to the tobacconist at the end of the street and just asking to buy cigarettes for my grandmother, and they sold them to me. So I started smoking old ladies' cigarettes, which I think were not Capstans, maybe number 6, which weren't the fashionable cigarettes. Rothmans were fashionable. But I must have been about 50, whenever Alien came out, the original Alien. In those days, you didn't know the spoilers of films. There was this big film. Nobody spoke about, oh my God, it's an amazing film, you have to go and see it. So you didn't know. And I went with a friend of mine from school. We were allowed to go into Guildford on Saturday afternoons after lessons finished. So we signed into Guildford. We went to see the film Odeon. And we both sat in the smoking half. You know, the cinema was just divided into 2 halves, nothing between them. And one half smoked and one half didn't. So we sat down, of course, first thing it did light up, and we were all sat there. And when the alien pops out of his stomach, bear in mind that nobody knew this was going to happen because that was the way it was back then. And literally everybody in the smoking half went, and it glowed red. And died down. Everybody's cigarettes did that. Yeah. And also, when I was very first pregnant, which would have been quite a few years later in 1984, they told me not to give up, but to cut down. If I could try and keep to under between 10 and 20 a day, that would be best, but not to give up. It was indeed a very different world.